Hello, my name is Larry Tatum, and welcome to my video on yellow belt self-defense techniques. All right, there's 10 techniques that we need to learn. I want you to practice them. I want you to study them hard. Go get your gi. I'll meet you back here and we'll start working out. Okay, the first technique is delayed sword. With the help of Rick, I want you to learn this two ways. I'm going to teach it to you from a grab first. As Rick grabs me, I'm going to pin his hand. I'm going to drop back to control his width by pulling the arm as I drop back, and his height by putting weight on that front leg. His depth is checked. He can't run away, and he can't run into me. Now, I want you to do a right inward hammering inward block to get rid of the arm. You can do it to the bicep, or you can do it to the inside of the wrist. At that point, I want to snap kick to the groin, and then I want you to plant with your weight, marriage of gravity, with the chop. Keep the left hand up as a check as you do that. All right, let's try it again. I'm grabbed. I step back and pin. All right, I want to get away from the left arm. If he raises it up, I pull, and just as suddenly as I move back, I get rid of that arm. And now I keep the hand low, keep it in line with the neck. As I kick him, it's going to bring him right in position for that chop. The other way that you can learn this is for a right punch. You can drop back, hammer down on it. If he starts to move in, shoot your kick and the hand sword. And two options. When you're learning this technique, I want you to hammer, whether you're doing it from a grab or a punch. But as you bring him in and you start to kick, I want this hand to chamber up so you get used to using that hand sword to its maximum potential. As you get a little better, leave the hand here. It'll stay right in line with your chest. And as you hit him, you just torque it from here. It's a little more sophisticated, but they both work. Thank you, Rick. Okay, the next technique is called alternating maces. Now, this is for a two-handed push. Okay, Rick? Now, all we're going to do is step back with our left leg into a right neutral bow as he makes a push, and we're going to do a right inward block, and we're going to counter both arms that way. I want you to chamber your left hand to your left hip as you do this. Okay, we block. Right from there, go to a forward bow, and as you use your forward bow, drop into and use marriage of gravity and go underneath the arms to the solar plexus or ribs at this point here. As his arms drop down a little bit, it's going to allow you to come back up with a back knuckle to the side of the head. So we're down here, forward bow, thrust punch, and then to a back knuckle. This hand comes back and checks. All right, let's try it again. As you step back, make sure that you move your head back with the body so the body acts as one unit. He pushes, block it, punch it, and good. Thank you, Rick. Okay, the next technique is sword of destruction. Now, what you're going to learn on this is similar to delayed sword. You're going to contour and follow the lines of your opponent's arm to get to the target. Rick? Now, it's for a left hooking or roundhouse punch. As he punches, you're going to do a right extended outward, left hand up is checking, and you're going to be in a right neutral bow. Now, at this point, I want you to draw into a right 45-degree cat stance. You notice how my body turns from a 45 to a 90 degree. As he comes in a little closer, you're going to catch him in the groin. And at this point, you're going to go back from the 90 and chop as your body turns back to a 45 degree. That gives it torque as well as marriage of gravity with the chop. Okay, let's try it again. He punches, one. Obviously, he's not going to just stop there. He's going to start moving towards you, so as you create distance, and he may move in with the other one, catch it, and then come down with the chop into a right neutral bow. Keep the left hand up as a check. Thank you, Rick. Okay, the next technique is called deflecting hammer. Now, we're going to borrow our opponent's energy or borrow his force as he starts to do a side kick. Rick, I need your help over here. Now, what he's going to do is he's going to drag up and he's going to try and side kick my ribs. Now, I'm going to shuffle back and do a right downward block. It actually becomes a downward parry in a sense as well. As he shoots the kick, I block it, but my left hand also comes up and checks. Now, the faster that he kicks, the easier it is for me to get to the next target, which is going to be the head. And we're going to continue on this circle, and I'm going to shuffle in an elbow to the side of his head. Now, I may catch the jaw, or the hinge of the jaw, or even the neck, okay? But I want my left hand to check as I come back in. Now, what I'm going to do is, as soon as I borrow that force, I'm not going to stop the block, but I'm going to come right back in the Rick. It's all one circle, all one motion. One more time, Rick. Shoot, bam. That's the way you apply this technique. Thank you, Rick. All right, the next technique is capture twigs. It's a rear bear hug with the help of Rick. All right, as we're grabbed, make sure that you drop your weight so you control his height. If he has to hold you up, you're controlling his height. He can't lift you up at that moment. Don't just stand there with your legs straight. Make sure you drop your weight. Check his hands and hammer the groin. As his arms start to release, you clear them yourself. Go to a right 45-degree cat stance, cover your groin, and contour his body right up to the throat with a right obscure elbow. Okay? Let's try this again. But make sure, I don't care what you do, but drop your weight. You've got to control that guy's height back there. Okay, Rick? So we come in, hit, and cat stance and elbow works together. Thank you, Rick. The next technique is grasp of death. Now, this is a flank headlock. I want you to practice this, but I want you to remember one thing. Keep your breathing constant. If you can't keep breathing, you can't finish the technique. Okay, Rick? Gets me in a headlock. I'm going to face him this way. Now, I want you to step forward into a right closed kneel, and I want you to check his knee. It's also going to put pressure and help control that left side of his body. You notice the moment I put pressure here, he wants to let go. I want you to grab the groin, squeeze, then take the arm off your head, step straight ahead, and break his elbow and into a left neutral bow. And you're going to bring him around using that arm as a fulcrum. And then pivot to a left forward bow, and I want a right vertical punch to his right mastoid. Boom, right down from here. Let's try it again, Rick. All right, remember I was talking about keeping your breathing constant? Well, I want you to take your hand, check it up here. Now, anchor your elbow. See, the angle here is greater than this angle up here. Start to choke me, Rick. He can't choke you. Tuck your chin in, keep your breathing constant, then begin to make the moves that you've already learned. And grab, take the arm off, bring him around, and then make your punch at this point. Thank you, Rick. Good. Okay, the next technique is called checking the storm. Now, I like this technique. Now, you don't have to actually block on this, but you put the block up as security. Rick? Now, he's coming in with a right step-through overhead club. I want you to step off to 3 o'clock and take evasive action. At least get out of line of attack. Now, as that happens, I want you to do an outward block with your left hand, and I want you in a left 45-degree cat stance. All right, Rick's coming from 12, but now you're going to be facing 10 o'clock, and your foot will be aligned to the target because we're going to move in on a 45-degree angle. And that target will be the groin. All right, he swings the club, get off on that angle, and catch the groin. Then do a left-right twist stance, which is only a transition as you do a right side kick to the inside of his knee, sets his head up for a back knuckle. Okay, let's try it again. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, thank you, Rick. Okay, the next technique is called mace of aggression. We're going to be the aggressing mace on this. Mace usually refers to a clenched fist. All right, this is a two-hand lapel grab or even a choke. Okay, Rick? Good. Let's grab my lapel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step in and scrape down and stomp his knee and hammer with that mace right down the side of the head, okay? I may take the hinge of the jaw, the temple, or the bridge of the nose. Now, if he's still holding on, that's fine because we're going to keep him checked. Then right from here, I'm going to slip the elbow and roll it, and then come back with it. That's the way that technique works. This hits, then the elbow rolls in, and then comes back. It's called the mace of aggression. And watch again that as I make my move, both foot and fist move together on this, and then we move in and back. Thank you, Rick. right, the next technique is called attacking mace. I like this technique. Now, when you do this technique, you're going to really understand the reaction of your opponent, all right? It's for the counter for the right punch, a straight right punch. We're going to go the outside of it with the help of Rick. All right, he comes in with a punch. We drop back and do a left inward block. We're in a left neutral bow. Go to a forward bow now and check his depth with a front thrust punch. Right to the ribs. Then as he starts to fall back, I want you to adjust and pull him back into a roundhouse kick to the groin. Clamp down close to the knee. Keep that arm checked so you don't get hit with the other arm. Pivot, if you need to a right forward bow and break the ribs with a diagonal punch, which is not a vertical, but it's just diagonal this way because it contours the ribs. All right, let's try it again, Rick. All right, so we drop back, punch, grab, and punch. One more time. In fact, let's do it from this angle over here. All right, we drop back. 1, 2, kick, and punch. Thank you, Rick. All right, the next technique is called sword and hammer. Rick? All right, we're being grabbed on our right shoulder. It's a flank grab. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to step over to my horse, and as I do, I'm going to drop my weight using marriage of gravity. If you move into a hand, make sure you check it, because if I don't and he pushes it in my face, that cancels my height, width, and depth, and I can't use my technique. All right, so make sure you check, catch the throat, and then hammer down to the groin. It's that easy. Throat and groin, keep the hand checked. Thank you, Rick.